In optimization, mounts are incredibly important. Any class in the game can use controlled mounts. The mount can disengage for you and it counts as forced movement. It can also dash for you without using any of your speed. And if the mount gets killed, you take no damage and you can use your reaction to land on your feet. While if the damage is AoE, then of course you take damage. And by the way, it doesn't actually say anywhere what happens to you if the mount dies. All we have is this text here. I couldn't even find sage advice about it. You can tell me in the comments. For now, I'm going with this liberal reading. Anyways, another benefit to mounts is mules. They cost 8 gold. It's common to have a few mules to carry loot for you. They're like a better bag of holding, especially if you're small like me, because you can ride them too. So having 2 mules, for example, for riding and a spare for carrying is a good idea. If the riding one dies, you then ride the spare mule that was carrying stuff. You're now caught up to the power of mounts for the most part. Today we're gonna talk about Phantom Steeds. It's one of the best spells in the game. Welcome to Pack Tactics. We're gonna step on the gas. And we're really going to step on the gas on this one. You see, this video is sponsored by Riftborn's Champions of the Multiverse. This battle book aims to murder your players with multiple wave boss battles, all the while keeping the combat easy for you to follow. This is an arena-style murder fest, and it is the perfect tool to train your players into becoming the perfect murder hobos. Yay! They even have their own exclusive hand-drawn layers for you to explore, and these high-quality miniatures for you to play with. Each combat is balanced for parties at low, medium, and high levels, and uses a new mechanic called Primal Form to keep the players at the edge of their seats. Going primal, a champion evolves and becomes stronger, employing new tactics and forcing your players to up their game. This is phase 4 in the boss fight. I hope you guys are ready. Not only that, each boss's exclusive battle map changes throughout the encounter with turmoil and destruction. Who knows, suddenly the floor is lava. How do you avoid that or use that to your advantage? And then when you kill a boss, you get magic items that come in these fun cards. Use them on the next boss or just collect them as trophies. Dungeon Masters, you guys also need to optimize your combat to the next level. Check out Riftborn on their Kickstarter. I think this sounds like a lot of fun and a good idea. Back to the video. Phantom Steed, 3rd level spell, 1 minute cast, but it's a ritual. Ritual takes 10 minutes longer to cast, so that's 11 minutes total if ritual casting. 1 hour duration. A large quasi-real horse-like creature appears on the ground in an unoccupied space of your choice within range. You decide the creature's appearance, but it is equipped with a saddle, bit, and bridle. Any equipment created by the spell vanishes in a puff of smoke if it is carried more than 10 feet away from the steed. For the duration, you or a creature you choose can ride the steed. The creature uses the statistics for a riding horse, except it has a speed of 100 feet and can travel 10 miles in an hour, or 13 miles at a fast pace. When the spell ends, the steed gradually fades, giving the rider 1 minute to dismount. The spell ends if you use an action to dismiss it, or if the steed takes any damage. Horse-like creature, and you decide the appearance of the creature. This is fun. There's a lot of flavor here. My friends like to give the Phantom Steeds hands, because it's funny. There's also the Trojan horse for wheels. That could be fun too. It's up to you. Flavor is free. If you dash with this, you move 200 feet. That's 26 miles in an hour. You should always ritual cast this, by the way, because it doesn't expend a spell slot. It's got an hour duration and it's not a concentration spell. So that means you can have multiple steeds active. And it's quite easy to achieve. You can also ritual cast on the Phantom Steed while it's dashing around at 200-foot speed. What? But Kobold, you can't ritual cast on horses! Nowhere in the ritual or mounting rules does it stop you from doing this, so you can absolutely do this. But Kobold, the DM might say otherwise. That's okay, that's reasonable. It's still an effective ritual though. Remember, ritual casting takes 11 minutes, and the spell lasts an hour. If you ritual cast this 4 times in a row, you still have 16 minutes left on your first Phantom Steed before it disappears. Well, technically 17 because of the 1 minute fade away, which is a really weird rule. Anyways, 4 Phantom Steeds is probably enough mounts for your whole party. 16 or 17 minutes is also enough to go through a dungeon majority of the time. If the battle is on an open field and everyone has steeds, there's 2 options here. 1, the whole party can just leave because chances are low they will catch up to 200-foot dashing steeds. Or 2, they can just default kill them if the enemy doesn't have ranged attacks or spells. So yeah, the spell is insanely good. I hope you realize that now. These steeds are large, so you might argue that bringing them to dungeon crawls is bad because of the 5-foot wide hallways, for example. That's false because of squeezing, and having 50-foot speed in squeeze is still incredible. 100-foot if you dash in the squeeze. Last note, death. This is a weird one. If the steed takes any damage, it fades away in 1 minute. If it takes 13 damage, it just dies normally, like everything else. The steed dying is not a problem if you have 4 of them active. It's just to grab your friend's steed instead. It's your steed after all. So yeah, you basically optimize this spell by giving it to everyone, and from there, you fight like a Mongolian. There's a reason why I didn't mention the mobility feat in my Blade Singer video, because mobility sucks. You can get steeds for your whole party instead, and if it gets targeted and it dies, so what? Anyways, end of video. Riftborn, Champions of the Multiverse, hopes to earn your support on their Kickstarter, as I hope to earn your subscription. Thank you for watching. Bye bye!